We have a big list for you, 15 things to do in Belem, way too many things to do in one day. So watch this video, figure out what's right for you or what you want to skip. Hi, I'm Jordan.
And I'm Erica.
And we're your guides abroad. We have 3 ways you can visit Belem. Pick the one that sounds best to you. All right, number 1 is you can try to see all these sites in one day. It's possible. You can even get the Lisbon card or the Lisboa card, and that'll get you into a lot of these museums. And get your money out of it, right? But we did that our first day. It was exhausting, and it's hot, and it was a lot of walking, so that wasn't the best for us. Number 2 is more of a sit and savor approach. You find 3, 4, or 5 things that look great on this list, and you just enjoy the neighborhood for the day. Soak in that history, soak in some drinks, and do that. Number 3 is stay in the neighborhood or come over for 2 days.
Yeah.
Right? This is kind of what we did. We stay in the neighborhood next to Ajuda, so we had a lot more time to explore Belem and make this amazing video for you. Where is Belem? It is west of central Lisbon and is along the river Tejo. It is a 20-minute drive or 9 kilometers from Baixa, which is in central Lisbon. It is the last neighborhood to the west before you hit the cute seaside suburbs. It starts at the river and goes up the hill, and the neighborhood to the east is Ajuda, and then you hit the 25th of April bridge.
All right, so there are 3 ways to get to Belem from central Lisbon, assuming you're not staying in the area. The first way, and the most popular way, is the 15E tram. This is a riverside tram, and it is the second most popular tram in Lisbon after tram 28. And to ride it, you can use your Navigante card.
And since it's so popular, you could find long waits and a very crowded tram to get there. Now, the second way to get to Belem is our favorite, and it's faster, is you take the train. So you go to Caistu Sodre train station, and you just take the train right to Belem. And the Belem station is actually right at the Coach Museum, and right next to, just like the tram drops you off at the monastery, so is the train. So it's very convenient, take the train. Third way to get to Belem is take Uber or taxi.
Yeah.
All right, easy.
You can also take the bus. We did that. It took a little bit longer.
There you go. With your Navigante card, it's easy to buzz in and buzz out, and it's about 20 minutes to by Uber or taxi, a little longer with the bus. Number 1 is one of the most popular places, and this place is right at the stop for the tram 15E. So you can actually do this video as a walking tour Belem. We have them all in order. So the Jeronimos Monastery. The Jeronimos Monastery is probably the most popular place to visit in Lisbon and definitely in Belem itself. So why visit the monastery? 2 parts. There's a church, the Church of Santa Maria, and this is a really cool design on the inside. Also home of the tomb of Vasco da Gama and also a famous Portuguese poet. Our favorite part was the cloister. This 2-story courtyard, beautiful architecture around it. We could walk around it, take amazing pictures. It was a lovely place to relax. Watch our Skip the Lines in Lisbon video up there for tips on how to get into the monastery because it gets very busy.
It does, and we had it basically to ourselves.
And if you're looking for a museum, there's like a hidden gem of the Archaeology Museum, which is 100 yards away from the monastery. Number 2, Pasteis de Belem. And it's cute. When you meet people from Lisbon, they always recommend like another dessert. Oh, you have to try this. But this one is the most famous one. And there are a lot of reasons people go to Belem. And a little history for you first, all right? So Pasteis de Belem is right next to the monastery. And get this, the family who started Pasteis de Belem, and they still own it around today, they got their recipe from the monastery. So a long time ago, the monastery was going out of business. So the monks made these famous custard tarts. And they started selling them. Anyways, they still went out of business, but this family bought the recipe. So they have the secret recipe, and that is why it's worth going to this cafe.
So these are Belem's secret recipe on the Pasteis de Nata, which you will find all over Lisbon being sold, but this is their secret recipe. So when you get there, you will probably be greeted with a line, but what you may not realize is there are different ways to get in and have pastries. So there is the to-go line, and that was on the far left when you're looking at the building. And then there is another line, which is for dining in the dining room or taking it at the bar. We loved dining in at the dining room. The line moved really quickly. We also did takeaway too, which was lovely. So choose what works for you and your timing and the line situation.
And they just not only serve those pastries, they have other desserts, but they also have coffee, they have drinks like liquor there, and they have sandwiches available too, so you can actually have lunch there.
Yeah.
It's a nice place. I'm glad you're visiting Belem, but since most of your time is going to be in central Lisbon, we have you covered with a free 1-page download itinerary. Great way to start your time in Lisbon. We tell you how to get to the top of the hill, walk through 4 or 5 neighborhoods. It is like such a wonderful day. It's a great first day in Lisbon to get a feel for some of the best neighborhoods in Lisbon. Click the link down below to download it. It's free.
So yourguidesabroad.com/Lisbon will get you that free guide.
Number 3, if that long line at Pasteis de Belem wasn't for you, hey, relax. We got a little place in the park, Quiosque Belem. These kiosks are throughout the city of Lisbon. There's a great one right here in Belem. You can just park yourself and get a drink. Oh, and we have one right now. So, surprise Erica on this one. She didn't know I took this. I have been drinking a little bit of it with my dad. This is Ginger. We got this one in Sintra and got in a little shop in Sintra. It was wonderful, been saving it. It's a cherry liqueur, which is very famous across Lisbon. And just relax, and you can go to these little kiosks and also little ginger bars. Anyways, it's all about relaxing in Lisbon. Make sure you get some. I like the cherry taste afterwards.
You can definitely taste the cherry.
It gets a little bite, yeah. It's a good aftertaste.
Oh, it really is actually a very good aftertaste.
It is. So make sure you hit Quiosque Belem or any of the kiosks around town. This is a small stop. Number 4, the Garden of Afonso de Albuquerque. It's a nice square with a statue of Albuquerque in the center of it. He's an interesting guy. He was a general, kind of ruthless, and he was known for taking over India or Goa, specifically the town of Goa for the Portuguese. Interesting. Number 5, Tropical Botanical Garden. This is right behind the monastery. It's 12 acres. It has peacocks and greenhouses, and it's a nice place to relax. If you're looking to kind of get out of the heat and be in the shade, you can spend like an hour here. It's not free, but it's a nice place to relax. Number 6, Monument of the Discoveries. It is along the riverfront. It's hard to miss. It is 170 feet tall, and it's a monument to celebrate the age of exploration in Portugal, right? The 15th and 16th century. And they actually built this in the 1960s, and it has, on the side, is decorated with all the famous people who put Portugal on the map. The kings, the queens, and the princes. And at the front of it is Henry the Navigator, who had that first idea to like, hey, let's go explore and map the world.
And this is a great place to get a view because the Belem Tower, which we'll go over next, usually has a bit of a line. This, you can go right up with no line usually, and it's taller.
It is, yeah, and it's a good price, and there's an elevator to get you to the top. So from there, you get great views of all Belem and the bridge. Number 7, we love supporting local tour guides, so do a small walking tour Belem. If this video seems like a lot, or you want a lot more history in walking around, we have links down below to some amazing tour guides who will take you around Belem on a walking tour and show you all these great sites with all these wonderful nuggets.
I feel like there's no substitution for a full in-person walking tour, and we love doing those. Like when we get to cities, we love doing at least one walking tour.
Number 8 is the Belem Lighthouse. You'll pass this as you go from the Monument of the Discoveries to Belem Tower. You'll just see it there along the river. It is from the 19th century, I believe. It's brick lighthouse. It's cool to see. You can get closer if you like. There's no tours, you can't go inside of it, but there it is. Number 9, a symbol of Portugal's maritime prowess out there on the seas is the Belem Tower, 16th century fortification, and it served as like the gateway into Lisbon, but also like the point where all the sailors would go out and explore the world.
And then return home to.
It is, and it's like a very cool old building. We just explored it from the outside. We went at dusk, which is a beautiful time to like see it, and it's nice too to go up there for sunset also, but you can go inside. It gets a long line to get inside and gets very crowded on the inside also. So take that into account. We like just seeing it from the outside and learning about its history.
Yeah. It's very ornate, so it's something that you can really enjoy from the outside and see all of the, details on it, but on the inside, it's not so ornate. It's not so well designed.
This next one is a wonderful tour we did, is sailing the Tejo River, and you get right from Belem Dock, which is right next to the Monument of the Discoveries. Local boat company, local family. It was a great way to get on the river. It was well priced.
Yeah.
It was great. We did it close to sunset. It was fun to go underneath the bridge. They had appetizers on there and drinks were included.
There were like less than 10 of us, right?
It was, and they're talking story the whole time with us, telling us histories of Lisbon, the current and like past history. It was just a lot to take in. It was a great way to get on the water, enjoy Lisbon, and then like learn about the city. And then what a romantic night. You do the river tour, right? And then go out for a romantic dinner with your partner. So get some local Portuguese food. We found a place right in Belem, O Frade. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It's a family restaurant. And we sat at the bar. I had the duck rice. We made sure we had some verde vino, the green wine, which is famous in the area. And if you're looking for a good traditional Portuguese dinner, then I have a link down below to check out this restaurant.
All right, number 12 is the National Coach Museum. And even though this is one of the most popular museums to visit in Lisbon, we still didn't really know what to expect. And it was actually Jordan's parents who were like, you have to go see this museum. So we did.
The outside of the building is like a brutalist concrete structure, which is interesting in its own right. But the inside, they have all these old coaches that one of the queens like saved, right? And it's great. It's all part of that history of that whole region because the presidential palace is in Belem, and then a lot of like equestrian history is there too, and equestrian schools are there. So you see a lot of horses in Belem, and then the museum kind of fits in well into that.
Yeah.
And these coaches are exquisite.
They sure
they're
are.
so ornate, and it just reminds you of a whole nother time in history.
Yeah.
So check those out. If you're not interested in that, in the basement is an ice cream shop, right? Since it will be hot, ice cream Santini. It's at the bottom of the Coach Museum, and they have the wonderful flavors, and it's kind of a chain around Lisbon. But since it will be hot, go there for ice cream.
Yeah, this was a delightful surprise for you.
This museum was more up our alley. It is the power plant, which you won't guess. And this is a twofer because you can get tickets to both museums. First is the power station, and it's just an old coal-fired making steam power station, but they decorate it so well. It teaches you how the mechanics of it, the science of it.
Yeah.
The architecture of the building is wonderful. I can see why they kept it. And it's all on the riverfront here, right? It's really close to the Coach Museum. And then right next to the power plant is the MAAT. It is a museum of art, architecture, and technology.
So your ticket entrance to the Tejo power station also gets you tickets to the Modern Art Museum right around the corner right behind me.
You might as well explore them both. And we just enjoyed also walking the river there and getting great views of the bridge. Now, for a bonus, when you're leaving Belem, hit up a nice place for dinner or lunch, it depends when you leave, and that is LX Factory.
Oh yeah.
And this is a wonderful place to get food or drinks, or they have a lot of local shops. Time Art Market is another one, but that gets really crowded. LX Factory is a little more like, I feel like hip, not as busy, because it's like outside and there's more room to work around on it. We enjoyed our time there. Erica's like thinking about it right now.
Yeah, it was lovely. I think it's also different because it has shops and restaurants, and it's a little bit more of a different vibe and idea behind it.
Lisbon is this amazing city, obviously, right? People love it, and we hope you can get out of Lisbon to go check out Belem for the day. We hope this video helps you a lot. We also have our one-page free itinerary that'll take you through a perfect day in Lisbon too. So download that. It's at yourguidesabroad.com/Lisbon. Thanks so much for watching. We got 2 more videos right here on visiting Lisbon.